Hey guys, Joe from American Trucks, and today I'm going to be reviewing and installing the MBRP 2.5-inch Installer Series dual exhaust, fitting all 07 to 13 5.3 liter powered Silverado and Sierra 1500s. This kit is going to be perfect for the Silverado or Sierra owner that's looking to improve the sound out of their 5.3 with an awesome dual exhaust featuring side exits and is budget friendly. And as you guys just heard, this setup is mid-range loud. It's enough to tell it's an upgraded exhaust, but not enough to draw a lot of unwanted attention to your truck. With that being said, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 on our Wake the Neighbor scale. This kit is manufactured out of aluminized steel, starting with 3-inch diameter piping before our muffler. Then we go to MBRP straight through muffler design, which splits into dual 2.5-inch pipes that are going to exit both out the sides with some awesome 3.5-inch diameter slash cut tips that are embossed with the MBRP logo. Comparing this kit to some other options from MBRP, this is going to be the base model in their premium line, so that's going to feature aluminized steel. If you wanted to step it up one notch to 409 stainless, take a look at the XP series. And if you were looking to spend the big bucks, check out the Pro series. That's going to have the top of the line 304 stainless. We also offer this same kit with a rear exit too, and if the chrome isn't your look, you can get the same exact kit as the black series. Everything is going to be identical, just sealed in a black powder coat. Price for this kit is going to be around 450 bucks, and you really do get a lot with that price. This is a really nice exhaust. It went together with no problems, on top of being one of the most budget-friendly dual exhausts we have on the site. Also included in that price is MBRP's 3-year warranty on materials and 1-year warranty on finish. Before we move on in the install, I just wanted to make a quick note that this is only going to work with specific cab and bed setups, namely the regular cab with the standard box, the extended cab with the standard or short box, and the crew cab. It will only work with the short box. Now that last one, the crew cab with the short box, you won't need to do any cutting, but if you have any of those other trucks, you will have to cut your inlet pipe to fit. But with that being said, I'm gonna give it an easy 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter, and it should only take you an hour or 2 to get it installed. So let me show you how it's done. For this install, you will need an impact, ratchet, 15mm wrench, 13mm socket, 15mm socket, 8mm Allen key, some penetrating fluid like PB Blaster, an exhaust hanger removal tool, and if you have any of the bed setups I mentioned earlier, you will also need a saw. So first things first, we got to get our stock exhaust out of here, and that is going to be pretty easy. We're going to start by loosening up this clamp with a 13mm socket. Then there's 4 hangers along the length of the exhaust that we're going to grease up and use an exhaust hanger removal tool to get those out. Then we're going to drop the exhaust in one piece since we're on a lift. If you are working on the ground, you may need to make some cuts to get that out. And with all that removed, we can now pull the exhaust out. So with our factory exhaust off the truck, I just wanted to take a second to lay it out next to our new MBRP kit and point out some of the key improvements that we're going to be making. And namely, we're losing that factory flex pipe and big muffler in exchange for MBRP straight through muffler, which is also made out of aluminized steel and splits into dual pipes. Both of those are going to be 2.5 inches and are going to exit out the sides of the truck with some awesome chrome slash cut tips embossed with the MBRP logo. So let me show you how to get this new MBRP kit installed on your truck, and we're going to start with the inlet pipe. So before you hang that up, I just wanted to say you might have to cut this depending on the wheelbase of your truck. The truck we're working on today, which is the crew cab with the 5/8 bed, you're going to use the full length of this and not make any cuts. But if you have anything else, you most likely will need to. But thankfully, MBRP includes a nice graph in the instructions to let you know what length to cut this to. But once you've made any necessary cuts, you can hang that up and secure it using the factory clamp and tighten that down with a 13mm socket. Now, before we tighten this down all the way, I just wanted to say, and this is a good rule of thumb for all exhaust kits, we're just gonna make this hand tight for now. That's gonna leave us some much needed wiggle room when we near the end of the install. And before we mount our muffler to the back of that inlet pipe, you have to put a hanger clamp on there first in order to get that to seat correctly. Next, we're going to mount our muffler with a 3-inch clamp included in the kit. And again, to make this a little more manageable, I'm going to hand snug these 2 clamps using a 15mm socket. Next is going to be our passenger side over axle pipe. We're going to secure that using the smaller 2.5-inch clamp, making sure it's seated in the back of our muffler and in the factory hanger. And again, I'm just going to tighten this clamp again to make it a little more manageable. And it's going to be the same process for the driver's side as well. We're going to use another 2.5-inch clamp and the driver's side over axle pipe, making sure it's seated in the back of our muffler and in the hanger isolator. And we're going to mount the passenger tailpipe with the same process. So that brings us to the driver's side tailpipe. And this truck, being a single exhaust from the factory, doesn't have a hanger over here. Thankfully, MBRP includes one in the kit, so we're going to mount that up using the 15mm hardware to this hole in the frame rail right here. So we have our hanger, then the big flat washer, then another flat washer, then we're going to put the lock washer, and lastly on top is going to go the nut. Now, once we have that in place, we can secure it with a 15mm wrench and socket. And with our new hanger in place, mounting the driver's side tailpipe is going to be the same process. Now, at this point, I just wanted to point out, this is currently sitting a little bit close to the tire. Again, we're going to dial that in, and it's probably going to sit closer to there once we have our hardware tightened down. The last step is to mount our tips, and we're going to secure those with an 8mm Allen wrench. Once those are on, you can make any adjustments as needed and then tighten down all of the hardware. And lastly, we're going to swap back to a 13mm for our factory clamp. And with everything tightened down, you can now lower the truck and check for leaks. And that is going to do it for my review and install of the MBRP 2.5-inch Installer Series dual exhaust with a side exit. Keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.